Alright, I think we're working now. I think we're live. Yeah, we are live. Alright. Just waiting for people to get on in here. There were some issues getting the stream set up that I'll get into once a few people join. Just gonna wait and see. Okay, so the broadcast has already started, obviously. It's after 8 o'clock. But the game is going to get going probably in about the next 10-15 minutes or so. Ugh, what a weird time I spent setting this thing up. I'm still getting used to using OBS, obviously. Still getting used to how streaming works. But we're making it work. Be alright in the end. Alright. So, sounds like Frederik Andersen is again not suiting up for the Carolina Hurricanes, which is unfortunate to see. It's going to be Brandon Bussi back in net there for the Canes, and Pyotr Kochetkov behind him again on the bench. Freddie Andersen, it sounds like, is in the building and is the emergency backup goalie if need be, but unlikely to suit up. Sorry if I'm quiet here and there. I'm just going through still trying to set some things up here. Like I said, it was a weird time trying to get all this together. But we're on now. We're live. Got some people filtering in here. Chat's getting active. Olivia says, can't wait for the Canes to win. Me neither. Might help if I brought this mic down. Now y'all can hear my beautiful voice. How's it going, everybody? Are we set? Are we psyched? Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. Golden Knights, Hurricanes. Series is back in Raleigh. Back in Carolina. Canes with some home ice advantage. Which is good to see. Still hoping for a Hurricanes win here, I can't lie. Talked about it a bit last stream, but not a fan of the Knights, not a fan of how they operate. If they win, when they win, because eventually, whether it's this year, next year, some point soon, they are going to win a Stanley Cup, and I'll be happy for Mitch Marner, but I won't be happy for anyone else on that team. All right. So, same setup as last time here, folks. We're gonna be giving play-by-play of the game here and there. We got the score bug happening down here, so you can keep up to date on what's going on in the game. Watch along the game if you like. I'm, of course, in Canada dealing with the Sportsnet broadcast. Don't know if anyone else is watching in the States or elsewhere. But gonna be a fun time. Let's just hang out and enjoy some good playoff hockey, because we don't have a lot of that left. We've only got maximum of 3 games, maybe even 2. You know, if the team that wins tonight also wins Sunday, it's over. It's done. The Stanley Cup is handed out, and we'll see you in October. But so for the sake of content, I hope that doesn't happen, and in the sake of good hockey, I hope that doesn't happen, because it's been quite the entertaining series. But then also, part of me wants the Canes to just win tonight, win Sunday, get it over with. Don't give the Golden Knights any breathing room. Kelly says in chat, nice jersey. Thank you. Yeah, repping, the World Cup started today, obviously, and I am mourning my team that did not make it. Ireland did not qualify for the World Cup again, so figured I'd throw this on and give some love to the Emerald Isle. Speaking of Ireland not making it to the World Cup, it's because they lost a match in penalties to Czechia, who have a game tonight against Korea. So I really hope Korea wins and gets some revenge for us. World Cup started this afternoon, actually. Opening match, Mexico and South Africa went down. Mexico won, I think, 2-0. South Africa took like 2 red cards. Brutal display there. Don't love to see that. Do not love to see that. So I've been at work all day, so I'm just trying to... I'm looking through my phone here. Sorry, just trying to get updated on anything that happened in the hockey world. Doing my doom scrolling, getting the brain rot going over on Twitter, on X, rather. What a stupid name for an app. Seeing what's new on the ice. Gonna be an exciting game tonight. Hopefully it matches the intensity of the previous 4 games. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, I said that last time, and we got maybe even a more exciting game than Game 3. No, nothing's gonna beat Game 3. I think Game 3 might be the most fun game to watch in Stanley Cup Final history. That was such a wild one. Hopefully we got something like that in store tonight. Hopefully. So we're just coming back from commercial break now on the Sportsnet broadcast, which means I'm going to get going very, very soon with the national anthem. Anthem singular. I know I went on this tirade the other night, but I am not pleased that they're not playing the Canadian national anthem. I think they should. But whatever, 2 American teams, 2 teams in the... I guess, are both these teams in the South? Would you consider that? Whatever. Whatever indeed. Chat's going. Got some friendly faces in the chat. Olivia says, I feel a Jarvie goal coming tonight. Let's hope. Oh, that's what I meant to do. On my way home from work today, I was going to pick up some Nerds gummy clusters. Rep Seth Jarvis. Do people know that story? That was a story that kind of went around earlier in the playoffs. But Seth Jarvis, big candy guy, apparently, and he loves Nerds gummy clusters. So if you know, like, the Wonka Nerds, a little, like, granule, I don't know what you call them, like the dusty candy, they like glue them to gummies and they call it gummy clusters. Anyway, they're great. I love them. And so does Seth Jarvis. He's a big gummy clusters guy. And he... sorry, 1 second here. So he apparently loves gummy clusters so much that in his house and in his hotel room, he will just leave them in every room. He will have a bag going in every room of his house and just munch away on them, including the washroom. Seth Jarvis keeps a bag of candy in the washroom at all times, just in case he wants some. And he did say, he was asked about this by Kyle Bukoskis from Sportsnet, the rinkside reporter, and he did say, don't worry, I always wash my hands before I have some gummy clusters. Olivia says in chat, he's a genius, they're yummy. I agree. I could demolish a bag of gummy clusters right now. They are so good. I always forget that the Carolina Hurricanes, they skate out to Rock You Like a Hurricane by Scorpion. What a good tune that is. Man. Very fitting for that team. See, you got kind of the dueling entrance themes. Are we going to call it? Let's call them entrance, not skate out songs, entrance themes. WWE style for these two teams. Probably the two best skate out songs in the league. The Golden Knights coming out to one of the songs off the John Wick soundtrack, John Wick 2 to be precise, and then the Canes coming out to Rock You Like a Hurricane. Very fitting for both teams, I think. Very atmospheric. Definitely gets the blood pumping. The Leafs have a good one too. I can't remember what it is. Enter Sandman. That's what it is. The Leafs come out to Enter Sandman, which I think they did back in the 90s as well. And they recently brought it back 2-3 years ago now. And hopefully they hang on to it next season with all the regime changes happening for the Maple Leafs. Because it is such a fun song. I know when I go to games, I definitely get hyped for that. It always makes me think, I don't know if anyone knows, but there's an old wrestler that called himself the Sandman. Wrestled in a company called ECW. And he came out to Enter Sandman, funnily enough. And he would come out walking through the crowd, smash a beer can on his head, and then guzzle the whole can before he got into the ring. Woo! My can fought back at me today. Going after a sapsucker again tonight. Still chasing that sponsorship deal, please. Sapsucker, tune into these streams, give me money. Or just send me free cans. I buy enough of your product anyway. It's probably cheaper for both of us if you just send them directly to me instead of sending them to the grocery stores or the farms near my house. Oh, tell you what, if I keep up these streams, I need to get a new desk chair, because this one's not comfy on my back. This is a metal folding chair that I duct taped back together after I broke it, because I'm a fat ass. I realize now that I'm talking about breaking a chair with my body weight as some opera singers singing the American anthem. I don't care though. Shouts out America, but your anthem's intense, man. Ours is cool. Love O Canada. Big O Canada guy. That used to be my alarm. My alarm in the morning, the noise that would play was O Canada. How's that for patriotism? Hopefully, game gets underway not long after. They don't take their time doing any fun pregame things, because I am hyped over here, man. My legs are shaking. I got the jitters. I'm hyped for some good hockey. Big time psyched for some good hockey. Sportcage.com says, "Oh, Canada." That's for true, man. Oh, Canada, indeed. I thought for a moment, they've got like, what do you call it? Honor Guard presenting the American flag right now, presenting the colors. And their uniforms are black and red, and I thought for a moment that they stuck soldiers in Hurricanes jerseys. That'd be pretty based, actually. I would be down for that. That's kind of cool. At least if you're going to give soldiers jerseys, give them a military night jersey. Keep it on brand. Don't disrupt the gimmick. So Carter Hart's back in net for the Golden Knights. I put a stat up on screen just now. First goalie to allow 4 games in each of the first 4 games of the finals. I'd say L, but L isn't a strong enough word to cover Carter Hart. Listen, he's a good goalie, but doesn't deserve to play in the league. And we'll leave it at that. I gotta say, man, the Vegas Golden Knights probably have the ugliest away jersey in the National Hockey League. It is just so, like, the arms are so blocky with the, like, slate gray color, the piss gold, there's no other way to put it. And the gold looks nice on their home jerseys when it's covering a majority of the jersey. But when it's just a stripe here and there on their away, it clashes so much with the white and gray. I'm not a fan of it at all. And the dinky little red stripe, get rid of that one, man. It sticks out and not in a good way. So we're underway now. I should probably get the clock going down here. There we are. All right, Game 5 underway here in the Stanley Cup Final. See if the Hurricanes get off to a strong start yet again. They, in pretty much every game so far, other than Game 3, obviously, when they got their tails kicked early, I think the Canes have scored in the first, 5 minutes every game. They started off real fast last time. So, see what happens this time. Lots of back and forth already. We'll see if the stretch passes are another carryover from last game. I know both teams, especially towards the halfway point of the game, were just trying to make these tape-to-tape passes from halfway across the ice, and one would get through and they'd get a good break, but the rest would just get broken up and come back the other way, or get turned into another stretch pass for the other team. I almost want to make a game take a shot every time a stretch pass connects. Oh boy. Let's also keep track tonight how many times Jordan Stahl loses his stick, man, because that guy, I think he either broke or dropped something like 4 sticks last game. That was a crazy stat. But did some good work with his stick on that go-ahead goal when he was falling face first into the ice. That was a lucky one. I just saw a stick go flying. Please tell me it's not Stahl's. No, I think it was Jordan Martinook's, actually. Wow. So still a Kane. The Hurricane. You know what? I was saying earlier about, I was saying a couple minutes ago about Vegas's jerseys, the white jerseys. Those are ugly. I think the Hurricanes' black uniforms are awesome. I think actually the Hurricanes perfected their uniforms with the red ones that they had for pretty much their entire lifespan. With the squares along the hem, the Hurricane flag squares. That was such an iconic jersey. They had it last year as an alternate, I think for an anniversary or something, but I don't believe it stuck around this year. If it did, someone's welcome to correct me. But these black ones, I quite like them. At first, I was a little taken aback by there's some gray on the shoulder yoke, as it's called. It's not quite the same color as the black on their uniform, but I don't mind it. I kind of think it makes it pop. But also, their white uniforms are atrocious. I'm not a fan of those. That's I think actually these two teams probably have the ugliest away jerseys in the league, and then two of the best home jerseys. The gold is a bit much, especially when you see it in person. I don't know if you've seen the Golden Knights jersey in Sport Check or Pro Hockey Life or something, but it actually sparkles. It is literally a golden jersey, which is a cool gimmick. But that's gotta be annoying, right? I only look at it for 5 seconds at a time when I'm going through a store. But to own something like that, if you shine a flashlight on your closet, you have to go blind. Crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. It's still better. At least the Golden Knights are wearing gold now, unlike when they came into the league and they had those stupid gray uniforms. That one never made sense to me. Why would you not from the beginning have the Golden Knights wear gold? And I know initially they were going to be called I want to say the Black Knights or something, because that was the mascot of the owner's like university or something. I don't know the exact info there. Oh, Carolina's coming on quite the attack there. They had a 3-on-2 for a second. Broken up, but they're sustaining pressure. And I think we just got our first shot on goal of the game, which is exciting to see. Yeah, we did! Woohoo! Shot on goal. Only took 4 minutes into the game. What was I talking about? Right, the Golden Knights jerseys. They were initially going to be called the Las Vegas Black Knights or something, because of the owner's university, and then that university blocked him from doing so. So they went a little more Vegas themed and called themselves the Golden Knights, and I think it's worked out pretty well so far for them. It's definitely a little more unique than just calling themselves Knights. If they were called like the Las Vegas Knights or something, that would be the most like create a team name I've ever seen. It'd be brutal. Wow, what a chance there from the Hurricanes. Chatfield with a bomb of a shot right there off a interesting passing attempt from I want to say Jacob Slavin. I'm still learning everyone's numbers on these teams. I'm not totally used to it. Like number 20 skating around for the Hurricanes right now. I know that's Sebastian Aho. 24, I know that's Seth Jarvis. 11 is Stahl, but I don't off the top of my head know many more Hurricanes. Hopefully I can get most of them down by the time this series ends, but like I said earlier, that could be as early as Sunday. If the team that wins tonight wins Sunday, they walk away with the Stanley Cup. And let's hope it's the Hurricanes. Good back and forth so far in this game. Very similar to the, other than, a quick goal from the Hurricanes, it's very similar to last night's game. Obviously the Canes scored, I think, a minute and 3 seconds in last night. Obviously no such statistic tonight. But we got a stop and play, finally. Good for them. Stop and play, so let's see how chat's doing. How you guys doing? Knock Gam, welcome back, bud. He says, so many red jersey teams, however, in Carolina is not my first, though when someone mentions red colors on teams. That's fair, if someone mentions a red jersey in the NHL, you're obviously going to think like the Habs, Blackhawks, Flames, teams like that. There's a lot of red teams, a lot of black teams, blue. We need some... we need more variety. Detroit, yeah. There you go, missing another Original Six team. It's funny that half of the Original Six teams wear red. That must have been annoying. Yeah, there you go. You're naming some more. Florida and Ottawa. A lot of teams that don't get along with the Leafs. Imagine that. Detroit, Florida, Montreal, Chicago. All teams that just don't get along well with the Leafs. Actually, speaking of Leafs and the color red, fun fact for everybody that just randomly popped into my head. This is one of my favorite fun facts to give out because it makes people scratch their head. The Leafs used to have red on their jersey. And it was when they were called the Maple Leafs. It wasn't like a St. Pat's or an Arenas thing. The Leafs used to have red lettering on their crest. And I think I want to say late 50s, early 60s on certain black and white pictures. Because they used to have those back then, back in the dark ages. On the black and white pictures, the text, like the Toronto Maple Leafs that's written inside the leaf, wasn't showing up in certain photos under certain flashes. So they stitched that text in red for a couple of years. And it showed up better in jerseys, apparently. And it's always cool to see that, in an exhibit or in an old photo, because they're very few and far between. And Carolina's picking up a delay of game penalty here. Nick Ehlers heading to the box. There's another Canes number that I know, number 27, Nikolai Ehlers, Winnipeg Jets legend. He put the puck over the glass, and the Golden Knights rather, are off to the man advantage. As I update the clock here, because I was too busy yapping and didn't keep track of anything else. Bob Pickled says the Flames. Yep, the Calgary Flames repping red there. I love their black uniform, though. Obviously, the Canes will always be red and yellow, but their black uniform with the horse on the front, Blasty is his name. That is such a cool uniform. And if I'm playing as the Flames in Chell or something, I will usually whip that one out. That's a cool one. Or I'll go with like the Atlanta Flames jersey just to be different, just to be a nerd. Atlanta Flames. It's funny that I do find it very, very funny that Atlanta has gotten 2 NHL teams and they lost both of them to Canadian cities. They had the Atlanta Flames, which obviously moved to Calgary, and then they had the Atlanta Thrashers, who became the new Winnipeg Jets. And now there's talk of Atlanta getting another expansion team, which would be cool. It would be cool to see a team go back to Atlanta, especially if they brought back the Thrashers branding, because I love that stuff. I've got a Thrashers hat somewhere over there, actually. I'll grab it after I take a break. I have a Thrashers jersey as well. Kind of have a Thrashers jersey. It's a beer league jersey that I wore a couple seasons ago when I played in Lug, when I was living in Peterborough. Great uniform. Absolutely love the Thrashers branding. I have a weird nostalgia for it because that's the first instance I have of a team where... That's the first instance in my life where a team just like disappeared and I did not fully understand it at the time because I was 8 when it occurred. The game's back on now. Vegas on the power play after Nick Ehlers takes a puck over the glass, a delay of game. And yet the Hurricanes win the faceoff in their own zone, and they've got possession in the Vegas end. Vegas is 1 for 12 with the man advantage throughout the previous 4 games. So don't expect them to do much of anything over the next minute and 35 seconds. And as I say that, they score. Wow. Me and my big mouth. Vegas Golden Knights score. I think that was Jack Eichel scoring that one, or Mark Stone. Really strange play there. Oh, it was neither of them. I'm stupid. I don't actually know who scored. I need to get my eyes checked, or I need to just learn jersey numbers. It was Dorofeyev. Pavel Dorofeyev gets the scoring started off a great pass from Jack Eichel as he takes most of the defenders with him to the far side of the net. Also takes Brandon Bussey with him. Dorofeyev's pretty much all alone on the far side, has a yawning cage to look at, and he's just got to tap it in. Golden Knights with a 1-0 lead here. About 13 minutes left in the first. Someone just took a spill into the boards, a very awkward looking spill, but Carolina with a 2-on-1 now, and that man did not shoot the puck. Wow. I don't know who that was. He got past, for those of you unable to see, Carolina had a 2-on-1. Puck was passed off to the player without a defenseman on him, and he just kind of held on to it. Like, the puck just stopped moving. That was actually really funny to see, a glitch in the Matrix. The puck stopped rendering for a second. That was crazy. Wow. So about 8 minutes gone here in first. Vegas scores first goal of the game on their first shot. And they're replaying this 2-on-1 that Carolina had. Who was it that was unable to shoot the puck? That would have been Miller. And it just gets stuck between his skates. Okay, that makes a little more sense. So Taylor Hall tried to pass it off, and it just got caught up in the skates instead of the puck suddenly stopping. I thought for a second the ice was really that bad at Lenovo Center. It's probably hot in Raleigh right now, eh? Probably absolutely boiling. Golden Knight just went spinning across the ice. That was funny to see. Shots are a little more even in this game. By little, I mean a lot. Tied at 2 right now. By this point of Game 4, I think the shots were something like 6-1, or maybe 6-0 for Carolina. So Vegas is definitely limiting Carolina's chances a little bit more. I lied. They just added a shot for the Golden Knights. I complained about this during the last game, but I'm at the mercy of the Sportsnet shot counter when it comes to keeping track of my score bug down here. I think it's down here. I'm not actually looking at my screen right now. But, and they'll just change their mind every once in a while. Like that, they just added another shot for the Golden Knights, even though I thought that shot just went wide. But you'll be watching. Yeah, this happens sometimes. I've noticed this with Sportsnet in particular. TSN not so much, but Sportsnet will just add and subtract shots willy-nilly, almost like they have to decide what is and isn't a shot just partway through the game. Like, well, you'll go off to the at the end of the first, and the shots are like 8-3, and you come back and they're 7-1. What happened? What? Suddenly things don't count anymore. Very strange. Someone just tried a nice spinorama pass, but it ended up going into the boards. No one there to catch that as the Vegas Golden Knights come out of their end. Had a bit of a 3-on-2 in the works. Oh, dangerous chance in front, but it's stopped by Brandon Bussey, who is looking a little better than he did in Game 4. He started well in Game 4, but once the Knights started racking up those goals, he definitely looked more than a little rattled. But he settled back in the third there, and Carolina walked away with the win as a result. So I saw today, we talked a little bit the other night about the Mike Babcock situation. For anyone that didn't hear about that, Mike Babcock is in talks to become the next head coach of the Edmonton Oilers as Carolina Hurricanes go offside. Yeah, the Oilers might be looking at bringing Babcock in after the whole debacle in Columbus a couple years ago where he was snooping through players' phones. And the only thing stopping the Oilers from hiring him apparently is that the NHLPA wants an investigation into what exactly happened in Columbus. And we learned today, I think it was Frank Zaravalli from Daily Faceoff reported that the investigation is not actually into what happened with the cell phones, but for an entirely separate allegation, which is kind of scary, that there might be something worse that went down than him looking through players' cell phones and their camera rolls. Bob Pickle says Babcock equals big mistake. I agree. I don't think I know the Oilers, the word is that McDavid and Draisaitl and Hyman, those three names in particular I heard, are really backing this idea, and that the idea might have even come from them to management. If the goal is to get tougher with their coaching, and the goal is to get a little bit more tough love from their leadership, I do not think Mike Babcock is the answer. I think Mike Babcock is a weird dude, not a nice dude, to be sure. I also think people overestimate his accomplishments a lot. He got flat out outcoached in almost every series he was with the Leafs for. He won a cup with Detroit, but that was a stacked Detroit lineup. And as soon as Nick Lidstrom left that Red Wings team, he couldn't do anything with them. I don't even think he won a series with the Red Wings after Nick Lidstrom left. Same with when he was in Anaheim. I believe he was the coach when they went to the finals against the Devils and lost. But the entire reasoning for getting there was Jean-Sebastien Giguère. Giguère stood on his head for that entire series. He got multiple shutouts in a single series. Won the Conn Smythe, which when the losing goalie wins the Conn Smythe, that's basically saying to his team, "Hey, you idiots! If you just played a little better, if you scored like 1 or 2 more goals, you could have had this thing." So I think Mike Babcock is on fraud watch, because he's got plenty of accomplishments with international hockey. You know, he coached the Canadian Olympic teams in 2010 and 2014, but I could have coached those teams. My dog could have coached those teams. Those rosters were absolutely stacked. You don't have to teach Sidney Crosby or Carey Price or any of those guys, Jonathan Taves, anyone on those teams how to play hockey. More names come to mind even. Ryan Getzlaff. Corey Perry was on those teams, I'm not mistaken. Duncan Keith was on those. John Tavares, all guys that, like, yeah, you put enough good players on a team, guess what? You might win something. And I heard Steve Dangle actually make this point earlier in the week. Whoa! Here I am talking, and Jordan Stahl with another highlight reel goal as he tips in a floater on net. And we've got ourselves a tie game here, folks. Absolutely impressive goal from the captain of the Carolina Hurricanes. And with 8 minutes to go here in the first, we are tied. That was, wow, that was impressive. Nice tip in front on what can only be described as a shot pass from Nick Ehlers. I think Nick Ehlers, that was either a pass with some sauce on it or wow, that I don't even know how to describe what I just saw. Great deflection in front from the veteran captain of the Canes. And we have ourselves a hockey game, folks. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I don't even know if I care. Right, yes. Still about that degenerate Mike Babcock. Steve Dangle made an excellent point earlier in the week on his podcast where he said we need to stop equating success at the international level to success in the NHL, which is a fair assessment. You know, you look at most international tournaments, the World Juniors, Olympics, even the World Championships that just recently wrapped up. That's a sprint. The NHL is a marathon. You know, you've got, in an international tournament like the Olympics, for example, it's 2 to 3 weeks. You're going to play 7, 8, 9, 10 games, maybe, depending on the tournament you're playing in. And you've normally got a pretty good roster. You've got, one would hope, all the best players from your country playing for you, which, if that country is Canada, it's probably going to be among the best players in the world. You've probably got the top 5, top 10 best players in the world on your roster. And in the NHL, you've maybe got 2 or 3 of those guys if you're a super team, a bunch of misfits to fill out the rest of your lineup, and instead of keeping that up for 10 games over 3 weeks, you got to keep that up for 82 games plus playoffs over the course of over half a year, well, most of the year. So, yeah, let's stop equating success at the international level to success in the NHL. Because, like I said, I could have coached a Canadian Olympic team and at least won them a medal. I would have just been there along for the ride. I would have been sitting there with a pinwheel hat and a big lollipop saying, "Woohoo! Sidney Crosby's in front of me. Go, Sid! Get it done, Nate Dogg!" I make myself laugh. I hope I make you guys laugh too. I've got to keep up with my shot counter here. Kane's got another shot while I was yapping, and the Golden Knights just got a great opportunity. They keep making these interesting passes. They bring the puck down to the goal line and then send it in front of the slot. And the Hurricanes keep falling for it as they drag like 3, sometimes 4 defenders with the puck carrier. But Brandon Bussy's getting smart to that tactic. Nice backhander there from Dorofeyev as he tries to pick up his second of the night. But Bussy stops that. Golden Knights now sustaining a bit of pressure as we're coming up on just 5 minutes left here in the first. Bodies are getting laid left and right, which makes me curious. The Golden Knights are they've got 9 hits so far. Hurricanes only 4, which very much was the story of last game as well, up until probably about 10 minutes left in the third. The Golden Knights were certainly the more physical team. Where the Hurricanes led mostly in shots last game. Golden Knights were more than the favorite in the hits department. That's how they get their game done, really. Golden Knights not as many giveaways this game. In fact, giveaways are 5-3 for Carolina. Face-off percentage relatively even. I'm just going to read out stats at this point. Face-off percentage relatively even. 58.3% in favor of the Canes, 41.7% for the Knights. And the shots are... Listen, this is what I'm saying about the shot counter, man. Sportsnet, when we went to commercial break, Sportsnet said it was 6-4, and that's what I've got on my score bug right there, but NHL.com is telling me it's actually 7-3. So I don't know if Sportsnet messed up or if the NHL messed up, and I don't trust either organization as far as I can throw them. So I'm just going to leave my shot clock where it is. I don't trust either of them as far as I can throw them. That'd be difficult trying to throw the entirety of the Sportsnet organization or the entirety of the National Hockey League. Dude, I'd have to pick up Brent Burns if that were the case. I can't do that. I'm a big boy. Chat's lighting up a little bit more here. Brian Leafs, welcome back, Brian, says Babcock and Bowman deserve each other. That is fair. Two people in the NHL ecosystem that are not good people. Here's a nice stat for you, those history buffs out there. Consecutive games with a goal, first 5 games of a cup final. Jordan Staal in this year, and not been done since Jean Beliveau with the 1956 Habs against the Red Wings. Previous to him, 51. Maurice Rocket Richard, the namesake of our goal-scoring trophy, in 51 against the Maple Leafs. So there's one for the history buffs out there, which I myself am one. Had a very good time recently at the Hockey Hall of Fame. My wonderful girlfriend took me down for the day as part of my birthday festivities, and I geeked out very, very hard. Got very excited, of all things, about seeing the Avco World Trophy, which, if you're not familiar with that, was the trophy, the championship of the WHA, the World Hockey Association, a competitor that used to be around for the NHL, that actually merged with the NHL as it was going bankrupt. The deal was the NHL said, hey, WHA, you're going to shut down and we'll take on whatever teams of yours are financially viable. And as a result of that, we got 4 teams added to the NHL. You know what? Let's play a little game here. I want to see if anyone in chat can name all 4 of those teams. Can anyone in chat name the 4 teams that came from the WHA to the NHL? I'll give you a hint. Technically, one of them is playing tonight. Technically. So we've passed now the 5-minute mark of this first period of action. Game is still tied 1 apiece between Vegas and Carolina. Shot 7-4. So I don't know who to believe. Apparently, the NHL app doesn't think one of the Canes' goals counted, but whatever. Who cares? As we pass now the 4-minute mark. Oh, very cool. Just saw on Twitter from Mark Masters of TSN, the Norwegian football team, that's obviously in the States for the World Cup, is at the game tonight. They open up their tournament against... What flag is that? Mark Masters tweets with flags a lot, and it makes me train my brain on what flags belong to what country. They open up their tournament against... I think that's not the Egyptian flag. I don't know. I'm not going to say so I don't look like an idiot. Yeah, Norway opens up their tournament Tuesday in Boston. Very cool to see the Norwegian team taking in the Stanley Cup Finals. Speaking of the World Cup, funny story that I saw on Instagram today when I took a break at work. There was a plane coming over from Scotland that was landing in Boston. And Scottish football fans are obviously very excited, as Scotland hasn't been back to the World Cup in a long time, like close to 30 years, I want to say. I don't know the exact number, but they're very excited to be back at it. And apparently this Scottish plane ran out of beer during the flight. The fans got so hyped and were having one too many libations that the plane not only ran out of beer, but they had to switch to wine about halfway through the flight. Can you imagine that? Just a plane full of Scottish football fans. All those Celtic and Rangers fans coming over to see their national team play. And they're just sipping wine out of little paper cups on a Porter Airlines flight. Good for them, honestly. Good for them. Scotland's one of the teams that I am cheering for in the World Cup now that Ireland didn't make it. Canada, obviously, is my number one, but I would not be upset about seeing Scotland get through to the round of 32 and beyond. So we got about a minute and a half here left in the first period. Shots 8-5 for the Golden Knights, as the puck is down behind the Vegas net. Carter Hart taking a look for it, but Vegas manages to punch it out. And Carolina takes back over now. And they're back in. Bodies flying all over the place. Someone just took a nosedive. Neither of these teams can stay on their feet, really. I think both equipment managers need to be given a talking to about how they're sharpening these guys' skates, because about every 3 minutes or so I see someone go flying regardless of their jersey. So every game so far in this series has had a multi-goal lead vanish, which is interesting to see. I wonder if we're going to continue that pattern tonight in Game 5. Obviously, we're tied up right now with first period only a minute left here. Typically this season, the Carolina Hurricanes outscored their opponents in the first, but that's not been the case tonight, as unless something happens in the next 40 seconds or so, they're going to head to the locker room tied. Good game so far, not as pulse-pounding, exciting as the previous 4 games, but good stuff. This is most exciting time of year to be a hockey fan. That and trade deadline day, free agency. Well, those days are really only exciting if you're a nerd like me. If you're a big hockey nerd. I guess the most exciting times for people that just like watching hockey are probably Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada, which is usually when the regular season starts up. The first round of the playoffs, the Stanley Cup Final. And I guess you could throw the All-Star game in there as well now that they're doing interesting things with it. I wonder if international will be the continued theme of the All-Star game. You know, we had the Four Nations face-off last season. The Olympic break this season in lieu of an All-Star game. And then next year we're getting a 3-on-3 international tournament, which will be very cool. 5 teams competing: Canada, USA, Sweden, Finland, and then a rest of world team. 5 nations and a few more face off. I think that's what they should call it. 5 nations and a couple of others face off. Is that good branding? Is that a good gimmick? I hope someone in the NHL marketing department is watching this. So we just had a face-off in the Carolina zone to the left of Brandon Bussey with 9 seconds on the clock. And they not only waved off that face-off, but there's now a penalty on the play. Looks like Keandre Miller is off to the box after another puck over the glass penalty against the Hurricanes. So they're not going to reset the clock. We got 5.8 to go. And Vegas, barring something happening in the next 5 seconds, will begin the second period with the man advantage. And there we have it. So, this is the part of the evening where I take about a 10-minute break or so. And then we'll come back and hang out for a bit before the second period starts. Before that, though, let's check out what's going on in the chat. Right, yes, I challenged you guys to remember the 4 teams that jumped over from the World Hockey Association to the NHL, and Bob Pickle gets 3 out of 4. The Edmonton Oilers, Winnipeg Jets, and the Hartford Whalers. And Brian Leafs getting 4 out of 4. Edmonton Oilers, New England Whalers, as they were called in the WHA, and then they changed their name as part of that switch to the NHL. The Quebec Nordiques and the Winnipeg Jets. And of course, technically speaking, the only one of those teams that is still around is the Oilers. Obviously, the Whalers we're watching them tonight as they moved to Carolina and became the Hurricanes. The Quebec Nordiques moved to to Colorado. Those C teams tripping me up. To Colorado to become the Avalanche. And the Winnipeg Jets, the original Winnipeg Jets, are not the ones we have today, as their history belongs to the Arizona Coyotes, who are a inactive franchise. They're not technically a retired franchise. They're considered inactive, and the league is trying to bring them back in like the next 5 years or so if they can get a new owner. It was very weird how the league took care of that. You know, just sending all of the like assets and players and staff of the Coyotes to Utah to become the Mammoth, but not giving them their history. So the Mammoth are an expansion team that didn't require an expansion draft. It's just, here, take the Coyotes, which, you know, less headache for them, right? They don't have to do an expansion draft and pick a whole bunch of new players. Alrighty then, folks, it is almost exactly 9 o'clock. Actually, on my phone, it is exactly 9 o'clock. So we're going to take a break. I'll see you all back here at 9:10, where we can hang out for a little bit before the second period gets underway. See you all at 9:10. All right, welcome back, everybody. As we settle in here for the start of the second. Let me reset the score bug real quick. Second period coming up. See, how long do we have until the second? Just under 5 minutes or so, so says the NHL app, which we've already established this evening is not trustworthy. All right. Good stuff. I'll put a poll up on the chat real quick. Same thing as last time. Who do we think's taking the game? I know we got a lot of Vegas, or Carolina fans rather, in the chat tonight. But, still, someone might be expecting Vegas to win. Maybe we've got a Vegas fan in here. Any Vegas fans in chat, please raise your hand. And you will be promptly pelted with tomatoes. No, I'm kidding. Alrighty, poll is live. What do you guys think is taking tonight's game? 40 minutes to go, and we're tied. One. Not Gam says no chance one of Vegas' 3 fans in the chat. Hey man, you never know. You never know. One of them might have found their way here to the best Stanley Cup Final stream on YouTube. Hey, maybe all 3 of them are here. And we can pelt all 3 of them with tomatoes. And those absolute freaks. Certified Vegas moment. Can't believe I just said that on live. Certified Vegas moment. Oh, man. I should be taking it back and shot for that one. So I didn't even realize that this is not the only, or I forgot rather, it's not that I didn't realize, I forgot. This is not the only hockey championship we got on the calendar this weekend. Tomorrow night, Game 1 of the Calder Cup Final down in the AHL. And Carolina fans are going to be paying close attention to it as their affiliate, the Chicago Wolves, are there representing the Western Division against the East Division champion, the Toronto Marlies, my team, and probably the team for many of you in chat as well. Very exciting stuff in the Eastern Final for the Marlies after Alex Nylander scored the series-clinching goal in overtime. And if you're sitting there asking, Alex Nylander? Yes, that is the brother of Willie. That is Willie Nylander's brother. They've played a couple of games together on the Leafs, a couple of years with the Marlies. I'd like to see Alex called back up once in a while, you know. Be cool to see. Get him on a line with Willie, get that brother chemistry going. Brother. Sorry. Every once in a while, the Hulk Hogan voice creeps out like the Green Goblin mask. That doesn't work for me, brother. What a sad, sad man Hulk Hogan was. Did a lot for the world of wrestling, and did even worse other times. Also just not a good person at all. Weird racist. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Hulk Hogan. We're here to talk about the second period of Game 5, which is getting underway imminently, if I'm not mistaken. The Sportsnet broadcast is back at the very least, zeroing in on John Tortorella behind the Vegas bench, who's had a lot of success with this team, considering he joined them with 8 games to go in the regular season. I think he won 7 of those 8 games. Or were they perfect down the stretch? And yes, quick reminder to everyone, Vegas is starting this period with the man advantage after Carolina took their second puck over the glass penalty of the game. And I commented last power play that Vegas had that they've not been good on the power play in this series, that they were 1 for 7 coming into this game. I suppose they're now 2 for 8. And I realized that bringing that topic up could lead to them scoring again, as that's what happened last time. But whatever, it's not like they can hear me. I hope. Who knows, maybe the Vegas Golden Knights bugged my bedroom. Would not be the most evil thing that organization has done. Most evil thing that organization has done is in the net for them right now. But that's no laughing matter. Carolina, good job getting the puck out of their zone here in the second, as they try to kill this penalty. Sweet Tarp, says JJ Lugna. Thank you very much, man. Yeah. This represents my hopes and dreams not represented at the World Cup. Don't worry, Canada's gonna do something, at least. I won't say they'll win. They're not. I think Spain's gonna win that tournament, actually. Not Game says, is that the first wrestling reference of the night? I don't think it is, actually. Prior to the game, actually, as people were just trickling into the stream, I spent about 5 minutes talking about ECW, so no, not the first wrestling reference, and certainly won't be the last. As the Golden Knights have sustained pressure here in the Carolina end, as that man advantage comes to an end. 2 minutes gone by here in the second, and they keep up, or rather they were about to keep up that pressure. 5-on-5. It's played out of the zone, but Golden Knights are trying to come back the other way. And now these teams are just trying to loft it into each other's ends from center. Shots 9-5 in favor of Vegas. Shot clocks working 9-5. What a way to make a living. Taylor Hall, nice shot. Carter Hart blocked that with his glove. Funny thing with goalies, you can block stuff with your glove, but it's very tough to glove stuff with your blocker. I know, because I've tried. And we're going to get a stop in play finally. About 3 minutes gone here in the second after a hand pass. Face off in the neutral zone. A dangerous power play there for the Vegas Golden Knights. Lots of good chances. Could not capitalize on any of them. In fact, I think they only got one shot on goal throughout that man advantage. But they're applying better pressure to the Hurricanes than the Hurricanes are to them. Last game, the story was Carolina being able to set up in the Vegas zone, and Vegas's dangerous opportunities coming on the quick rushes, the breakaways. Mark Stone had 2 breakaways just in the first period of the last game. And it seems we flip-flopped this time, where Vegas is able to set up every once in a while in the Carolina zone. And Carolina's 6 shots have pretty much all come off of odd man rushes or weird chances. Despite that, we remain tied at 1 as Vegas has possession back in the Carolina zone. and lose it as soon as that sentence left my mouth as Carolina comes back out the other way. Puck dumped in by Shane Gostisbehere. I will always think when I see Shane Gostisbehere about one of the bar down quizzes. Did anybody else watch those or still watch those? They still make them every once in a while, but TSN's bar down channel on YouTube will put out these incredibly fun quizzes every once in a while. And I used to sit and marathon those forever. Still do sometimes if I'm really bored in the mood to, or just need something to listen to on a long car ride. And they did an emoji quiz where they would use emojis to create hockey terms. And one of the ones was the ghost emoji sitting next to the bear emoji. And that was for Shane Gostisbehere. And now I cannot hear that man's name or see him on the ice without thinking of that. Here I go again, not starting my clock, as about 3 minutes have gone by since I last started it up, and just as I think to do so, the Hurricanes get an icing call, and we're going to come back the other way as the clock stops now. About 5 minutes gone by in the second. Yalvert's back in the chat saying, "Go Knights, go." All right, everyone, hit this man with tomatoes. Everyone go bully Yalvert in chat, please. And on this one rare occasion, I will condone cyberbullying. I'm just kidding, Yalvert. I love you. Thanks for being here. There we go. The tomatoes are flying. Thank you, Olivia. Weird call not made there as Vegas rang it around the boards from their own end. It was not called icing despite Carolina taking possession. No matter though, as Carolina takes it back into the Vegas zone as they try to set up, make something happen. Sebastian Aho sending it down behind the boards, and it's sent back to him, and now Vegas comes back the other way. Lots of back and forth happening. Lots back and forth in this one. Much more evenly matched game, I suppose, than last night, at least to begin. You know, last night Carolina was very... I say last night. The night before last, rather. Game 4. That's the best way to word it. In Game 4, Carolina very much controlled the game for the first half of it for the Golden Knights. Really showed out with about 10 minutes left in the second and tied it up before Carolina took back control in the third. Not so much this time. Wouldn't necessarily say there's been a team in the driver's seat. I know the Golden Knights have sustained more pressure, definitely had more ozone time, or more noticeable ozone time, but feels much more slowed down tonight as previous games. Not as much of a gong show, as they say. Previous games all been multi-goal leads blown, sticks flying all over the ice. No fights, I don't think, in this series so far, which I say that, and yet I cannot think of the last time there was a fight in the Stanley Cup Final. Probably last year, considering Florida was involved. I think every member of the Florida Panthers takes boxing lessons just in case. Comes with the territory of being a Florida Panther. The Carolina player just got rocked and dropped on his ass. Who was that? Taylor Hall, as he got knocked over from behind and is slowly getting up now in the corner. Looks like he got rattled around a little bit. And I think we're going to be heading to a TV timeout here. We are! Alright, TV timeout coming up now. As I reset my game clock to add about 20 seconds, because I once again forgot to stop it a little while back. Shots 10-6 for the Hurricanes in this 1-1 tie. 8 minutes rather. 6 minutes. I can't count or tell time. 6 minutes gone by in the second. Let's take a look at the head-to-head stats here coming at us from the NHL app. Face-off percentage now squarely in the favor of the Hurricanes. That's been a common theme throughout this series. Canes with a 60.9% lead in the face-off dot so far. Let's check out what chat's saying. Not Gam, how do I throw tomatoes at him? I don't know, find a way. Olivia threw some tomatoes. Just drop some tomato emojis. Let Yalvert know that we cannot be cheering for the Knights. Brother BKL says, shout out to everyone in the chat, including Hammer Hockey. Keep the good work on the channel. Appreciate it. And shout out from South Bronx. Hey, thanks, man. Shouts out. Good to see you. Good to have you with us tonight. South Bronx. So I'm going to make the assumption you're a Knicks fan. I think in the NBA Finals right now, whether or not the Knicks win or lose, New York is going to get burned down in the best way possible. I mean, not if they lose, but if they win, there's going to be the most fun riots in the streets. Already the videos you see on TikTok and Instagram Reels are just so funny. I know they got one of those like walking robots out there in a Knicks jersey saying F Trae Young, and that was very, very funny to me, man. I absolutely loved that. I was dying laughing at that for a solid 10 minutes when I saw it. Yeah. Alright, game's back underway now. Carolina with possession. Nice shot going in on Carter Hart, but it's blocked by a Knights defender. There's a bit of a puck battle down in the Vegas zone as they try to break out and make something happen. I keep bringing up those stretch passes throughout this series. Haven't noticed too many of them this game. Certainly not here in the second. Definitely more guys trying to just carry the puck out of their zone. I don't know what my weird obsession with noticing stretch passes is. Whatever. Need things to talk about, man. Gotta keep things rolling. There's a rule in radio that I've been trying to apply to these streams, and that's never give dead air. So if you hear me just yapping about whoever and whatever and whenever, that is why. Just want to make sure you guys aren't listening to the static of my microphone. Want to make sure you're listening to my lovely, lovely voice. As the Carolina Hurricanes take an icing call, and we're going to come back the other way for a face-off in their zone. Someone needs to shoot the puck, man. I haven't seen a good shot on net in, 2 minutes? I'm getting bored. I have a short attention span. I have ADHD. Okay, I don't, but I do in this instance. Give me shots on goal. SOG, please. Let's get an SOG chant going in chat. Come on. Shots on goal. 10 shots for Vegas, 6 for Carolina. That's unacceptable at this point of the game. As Braden McNabb sends that down the ice. And there's now an icing call against Vegas. Back the other end of the ice. Braden McNabb still wearing that bird cage on after he took a puck to the visor back in Game 2. Jordan Staal now has the highest face-off win percentage in a Stanley Cup Final since 1999, that is. He's sitting at about, I think the graphics already gone and I've got short-term memory loss, but I think they said about 69%. Nice. Face off in the Vegas zone. So Carolina's making that work. Now Vegas back the other way. Fought off that puck. And they're bumping behind the Carolina net as the Canes now come back the other way. And that's broken. No, not broken up, but there is an offside call against Carolina. Face off in the neutral zone. So William Karlsson took a strange hit there behind the Carolina net. Almost looked like he caved his shoulders a little bit. He was standing, perpendicular to the boards. And he kind of got scrunched up on that hit. Trainer's now working over his elbow on the bench. And despite the fact that he's a Golden Knight, hope he's doing okay. That face-off in the neutral zone as a result of the offside, won by the Canes, and it was already gloved down after about 6 seconds by Carter Hart. So face-off in the Vegas zone now. And William Karlsson's arm must be doing all right. Oh, I thought he was coming out on the ice, but no, he is actually going to skate right off and down the tunnel. They're going to take a look at him in the locker room. Not a good sign for the Golden Knights, losing one of their better players, one of the guys that definitely makes things happen in the offensive zone for them, whether that's making space, whether that's making a good pass, or completing a good play for a goal. William Karlsson's been a Swiss Army knife for them in the offensive zone. See if Carolina can capitalize on his absence before he possibly returns to the game. Hopefully returns to the game. For as much as I don't like Vegas, I don't want to wish anything ill will on them. Injuries are never fun on the ice. Mad scramble in front of the Carolina net there for a second. And oh wow! Play came back down to the Vegas end. Carolina player got dumped on his ass, and now there's a scrum in the corner. Someone's on the ground. Jackson Blake's trying to throw hands with Keegan Colasar. Colasar wants it. Blake wants it. The refs do not. And definitely going to be some coincidental minors happening off of that. Everyone's jawing at each other. That was an awkward hit. I wouldn't even call that a hit, more of a dumping in open ice. As Jeremy Lauzon just shoves over Logan Stankoven, otherwise known as the Stanky Oven. So Lauzon will go off for roughing. Nothing for Jackson Blake. Almost shockingly. Would have almost expected a roughing call for him after getting into it with more than one Golden Knights player. But nope, just the call for Lauzon, and it's going to be advantage Hurricanes for the next 2 minutes. Hopefully Stankoven's okay. I didn't see him go off. Looked like he got up all right after that. Kind of landed on his tailbone, lower back area, but he should be all right. Vegas just clears that immediately. Bussy out of the net to play that. And Carolina's got to start from square one. It's fun fact time. This one coming in from NHL Public Relations on Twitter. Jordan Staal needs one more goal to match the modern era record for most by any player in a Stanley Cup Final. Last achieved only a year ago when Sam Reinhart scored 7. Because, of course, it was the 2025 Panthers. Chaos in front of the Vegas net. Carter Hart was down, almost lost his stick. A couple of good whacks at it. But the Golden Knights collapse on their goaltender and keep the puck out, but Carolina maintains possession. Shot from the left side by Seth Jarvis, and that is covered up by Hart. As we're just about to reach the halfway point of the second period and of the game. Sprawling saves there by Hart. Great defensive work by the Golden Knights to make sure nothing happens. Carter, very good rebound control after that Seth Jarvis shot. It was almost snatched up by Andrei Svechnikov. And a face-off to the right of Hart. 1:13 left in the man advantage for the Canes as they win this face-off yet again. Big shock, Jordan Stahl's out there. We just finished saying how good he is on face-off. Great chance for Jordan Stahl in front. Such a good chance that Sportsnet just put up their goal graphic. But in fact, the puck took an awkward bounce and is now down in the Carolina zone. 50 seconds to go on the power play. The Canes bring it back in. Looking to get set up. Nick Ehlers tightrope walking the blue line. And that's bobbled by Nikishin. And he's going to circle back to just in front of Brandon Bussey and try to make something happen here with only about 20 seconds to go on the man advantage. And now Vegas back the other way. It's not their power play. What are they doing? Carolina regains possession, looking for maybe one last gasp as there's less than 10 to go on the man advantage. Alas, nothing. That power play is done. Whistle went. There's a cross-checking call on Braden McNabb, as I think it was Jackson Blake got dumped in a corner. And the Canes are going back to the man advantage as they've now caught up in shots after getting 3 on that power play. Oh, wow. They just showed the replay of that cross-check, and yeah, definitely send McNabb off. Jackson Blake is lucky he was able to turn, or he would have jammed the top of his skull into the boards. Braden McNabb, the birdcage, heads to the penalty box. And the Hurricanes, after getting a few good chances, get another one. What's going on, chat? What are you guys up to? Knockdam says Fox is also being left in New York for what he did to the Knicks last night. Yes, I wasn't able to watch the game last night, but I did see that. Yeah, I saw more than a few people talking about Fox. Juicy Mango, welcome back. Welcome back. Just tuning in. How's the game going? Good game. Not as exciting of a game, but we're heating up here. Everyone's making friends in chat. Everyone's being nice. Brian Leaf says grab and toss play. Mm-hmm. Should double check, make sure my score bug is up to date here. It is. I'm actually keeping up. I'm only behind, or I'm only ahead rather, by 2 seconds. So I'll add those 2 seconds back. And I'm up to date on the shots on goal. We're doing all right. We're doing okay. Commercial break is over. And we're back in Raleigh. Hurricanes getting set for their second power play in a row. That's some, I don't want to use the word luck, because Vegas is to blame for both of those. Strange officiating in these playoffs. I've seen people complain about, especially in this final, I've seen people complain about it here and there, but it has not been the topic it was in years past. I know last year and the year before, in both Oilers-Panthers series, there was a lot of discourse regarding the officiating, and Not so much this time, or maybe I'm just not hearing it this time, but I'd like to think I'm a little tapped in when it comes to the concerns of the hockey world. Canes set back up in the Vegas zone. 30 seconds gone on this power play. Just over 8 minutes to go in the middle frame here in Game 5. Series tied at 2, game tied at 1. And remember, we're getting down to the wire with this series, folks. If the team that wins tonight wins Sunday as well, it is over. But that is getting way ahead of ourselves. Goal! Nice one there by Andrei Svechnikov to wire it on the power play. And the Carolina Hurricanes are up 2-1 here in Game 5 on home ice. Wow! I knew Mr. Svechnikov had a rocket on him, but that is something else. Pause. Oh my, sent. He's found in the high slot, and he just sends that through traffic. I do not even think Carter Hart had. I mean, he tried to react, but he finds just 5-hole on that. If Carter Hart dropped the pad just a second earlier, he would have been okay. But Andrei Svechnikov gives the Canes the lead here at the halfway point of the game. And they just showed on camera a guy in the crowd wearing a full suit. He looked like Hugh Jackman in Greatest Showman. Like a red and black suit with a bowler hat. And the bowler hat had the Canes logo on it. That was intense. Sorry, I could be talking about what a goal Svechnikov just scored, but I'd rather talk about this Canes fan. That was awesome. Who is this man? One of the Ringling brothers. Carolina now with a bit of pep in their step after that go-ahead goal. I forgot to play the goal graphic. I'm sorry. Here we go. Yay! I completely forgot there. That's my bad. That's like the one thing I always remember to do. Unfortunate. All right, so that goal definitely woke up not just this crowd as the fans in the Lenovo Center are buzzing, but it also woke up both these teams as they're going back and forth with the puck with renewed intensity after that paradigm shift, as you could call it. Canes definitely moving a little faster. Golden Knights moving a little more aggressive. And every board battle is ending in a big hit. 3 big hits in a row there after 3 passes. Curious now what the hit counter is at, because that is just as important, if not more so, than the shots on goal. Hits are, well, they're climbing up there, and they are even. 21-21 in hits. There's a physicality is heating up, folks. Body on body, man on man. Oh my. As Vegas sends that into the zone, now trying to set up an opportunity to tie this game. Marner almost with a break in the slot, but that is broken up, and Sebastian Aho just got knocked on his butt after making quite the suicide pass to break out of the zone, and it's all for naught as Vegas is trying to come back the other way. Jordan Staal now, shot attempt blocked by Vegas. Bodies flying everywhere. Once again, these guys just do not know how to stay on 2 skates. As the Canes now send it down into the Vegas zone. No icing call as it's broken up at center. And here come the Golden Knights. Wow. shot of adrenaline that goal was for both teams. I know I said it already, but it is really noticeable how the pace of this game has picked up, and yet no shots on goal, really. Brett Howden with a partial breakaway, but is broken up by Brandon Bussey and the Carolina defenders just catching up to him at the right moment. Here's that edge-of-your-seat hockey I was complaining we weren't getting, folks. Welcome back to the Stanley Cup Final. Most wonderful time of the year. And I ain't just talking about tax season. Carter Hart out of his net to play the puck. And Logan Stankoven gets knocked over again. The Golden Knights are just bullying the poor stanky oven. And, there's a scramble now at Bussey's post. I think he lost sight of the puck. Also lost his stick for a bit, as that comes out to the neutral zone in possession of Vegas. So they're going to try and come back in now. Not been a stop and play for a while, as we've now already passed the 5-minute mark. And they just pointed out that Chatfield's been on the ice for about a minute 22. Speaking of things going on for a while. Need a whistle as the Canes come back the other way. There was a 1-on-4 there. Shot the puck wide, Cody Ceci style. I love picking on Cody Ceci. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but anytime someone misses the net, I can't help but think of the one-timer he absolutely sailed clear of the net in the Toronto-Columbus bubble series. Remember that? The 2020 playoffs during the summer? It wasn't even technically the playoffs. It was a qualifying round. And with the Leafs season in his hands in Game 5, Cody Ceci had maybe the most egregious missed net I've ever seen. And Jim Houston, commentator at the time, tried to hype it up so much. And I still, when I close my eyes at night and go to bed, I hear in my head, pass across to Ceci, and he missed the net. Oh, okay! Forget my story about Cody Ceci. Sebastian Aho makes it a 3-1 game. Oh my. Buzzing around the ice. And it pays off. Carolina 2-goal lead on home ice. Great goal there from Aho, who is now on a 4-game point streak in these finals. He comes off the bench almost directly to the net, catches a pass with his skate, kicks it up to his stick, and it is 3-1 Canes. Good stuff there from Sebastian Aho. Wow. Now that is a happy man. That might be your TSN turning point, folks. That's the Canes really in the driver's seat now, as Chatfield and Colasar jawing at each other at center ice. Chatfield pretty much sent to the bench by the refs. They are dialed here. Sebastian Aho, his 5th goal of these 2026 playoffs, assisted by Walker and Martinook. Wow. They say the 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. And we've talked all series long about multi-goal leads vanishing. Maybe it's this one. I don't want to put that out into the universe. Well, I guess I just did put that out into the universe. But I would not be the least bit shocked if Vegas decides to come out with a bit of energy and a bit of excitement in the third period to try and make this one interesting and claw back into this game. As pretty much since that first power play, the game has taken place almost entirely in the Vegas zone after I was commending them so much about their sustained offensive pressure. And Carter Hart will freeze the puck with exactly a minute to go here in the second period. And we're going to head to a TV timeout. How about that, chat? How about that? What are you guys talking about? Juicy Mango, what's the bevy of choice tonight? What's everyone sipping on, man? I've got nutritional facts. I don't want to keep shouting out Sapsucker, giving them free advertisement without them paying me to do so. Clip this and tag Sapsucker on Instagram or TikTok or something, and tell them to send me a case of their stuff because I love it. I would drink those more than water if I could adapt my body to do so. Knockgam says New York is actually building the Fox statue next to the Brunson and OG ones. Yeah, man. I think officially after that game last night, in the minds of most people, OG Anunoby is no longer a Raptor. He is... he'll always be a Raptor to me, but... Killer Green says, bevy of choice is a cold iced tea. But if you ask Cameron, Sapsucker all the way. That's true, man. That's very, very true. Clip that, too. Tag Sapsucker. Come on, guys. Let's make me some money here. All right. That poll is squarely in the favor of the Carolina Hurricanes to win this game. And I think most of you voted, if not all of you voted on that prior to them taking this 2-goal lead, this very impressive 2-goal lead in the dying stages of the second period. As the game is back now from commercial break, exactly a minute to go here in the middle frame, as we likely, barring anything funky in the next 60 seconds, they just showed Andrei Svechnikov making a passing comment to Carter Hart in that timeout. See if anything comes of that. See if any of the Golden Knights gun Andre for that one. Doubt it. Never know. Definitely been a little more pushing and shoving in this period than there really has all series long. Nice to see. Nice to see things heating up here in the finale of the 2026 NHL season. It's always a fun way to look at the Stanley Cup Final, the finale of the season. Add some drama to it. Under half a minute to go here in the second. Brandon Bussey plays the puck just a little bit. Vegas can't keep it in the zone. They gotta circle back, and now with possession taken by Carolina, who just lofts it into the Vegas zone to kill the clock on the second period. And we are gonna head to the third, 3-1 Hurricanes. And once again, this is the time of the night where we take the 10-minute break. 7th inning stretch, if you will. Second intermission stretch. So it is 9:55 my time. I'll see you guys 10:05 so we can come back and hang out a little before the third and final period gets underway. See y'all in a little bit. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Time to get settled in here for the third period here in Game 5. What's going on in chat? What did I miss? Killer Green says, what's your final score prediction? Val P says 5-2 Carolina. I don't think you're far off. Well, I think... what are we at now? 3-1 for the Hurricanes. I would have to guess... Let's go... I'm going to say 4-2. I think the Golden Knights get one back, and the Canes put away an empty netter to round off the evening. Either way, I'm expecting a very back and forth third period, a very exciting game, exciting third period, a lot like what we saw in the last 5 minutes there of the second. Let me just make sure, double check with NHL.com, that the shot counter is up to date. And guess what? It isn't, as they've added and subtracted once again. So we actually need to give the Hurricanes 2 shots, and we need to take away 2 shots from the Golden Knights, because nothing around here makes sense. Oh well. They just played on the broadcast a quick commercial there, a TV spot for Christopher Nolan's Odyssey movie. Very excited for that. Love a good Nolan movie. Thought Oppenheimer was very good. And I'm excited for the Odyssey. So Game 6 is coming at us Sunday night, and I can promise you all now, we're going to be back doing this. It is way too fun to not do this, man. I'm very much enjoying going live, hanging out with all of you, having people to watch the game with. I keep saying it, but it's true. Hockey is so fun, so much more fun when you have someone to watch with. So we're going to be back Sunday for Game 6, and then should there be a Game 7, we'll be back for that as well. Brian Leaf says, I'll buy in at 4-2 Canes with lots of hitting. Yeah. I think, what do we have with the hit counter? Let's take a look and see. Hit counter is looking like 30 for the Golden Knights, 27 for the Hurricanes. That's only going to go up. Let's see if the Knights can hit 45 by the end of the game. They're at 30 now. They got 20 minutes left. I would not be the least bit shocked if they can hit 40, 45, somewhere in there. Hurricanes have 20... Oh, they've just adjusted, brought it down to 26 hits. Let's see if they can hit 35. Let's see if can make it interesting. So we got about 3 minutes till we come back, something like that. Probably even less at this point. Yeah, just under 3 minutes till we get set for the third period. Goofy penalties being taken by both teams there in this in the second period. All game really. Carolina with those 2 delay of game penalties, the puck over the glass, and then Vegas with back-to-back just stupid penalties, really. Both in the corner in their own end to the left of Carter Hart. Unnecessary physicality. Love to see them getting a little more aggressive, trying to get themselves into the game more. Not the way to do it, man. So we'll see if Tortorella reins them back in this third period, or if they come out flying. Yeah, as Brian Leaf said in the chat, lots of hitting. Gotta be careful who and how you hit. And we'll see if anything more comes of the John and Chirpin that's gone back and forth between both teams. We saw right towards the end there of the second period, Chatfield getting into it a little bit with Colasar off a face-off right after the third goal there by Aho, rather, not Svechnikov. So we'll see if anything else comes of that. And we're coming in now back into the Lenovo Center on the broadcast. So we get set for the third period, starting up in just a couple of seconds here. So yeah, get your final score predictions in the chat right now. Graham O'Leary says 5-3 Carolina. I could see it. I also, as much as I wouldn't want it to happen, I keep dropping stuff here. As much as I wouldn't want it to happen, there is 100% a world where the Golden Knights come back, maybe not come back to win, but come back and tie this thing up, because that's been the most common theme throughout this series. The blown multi-goal leads, and now Carolina has a multi-goal lead. Imagine that. So I could very easily see this becoming 3-3 some point soon, maybe even 4-4. Olivia in chat says will be 4-3 Carolina. Could see that as well. There's definitely a universe where we get that multi-goal comeback from the Golden Knights, as we've come to expect this series, and Carolina puts it out of reach for them, whether before the end of this 20-minute frame or in overtime. That'd be exciting, wouldn't it? Bit of overtime. Let the stream go late. Late night stream. What happens then? Ooh. Camera keeps going every time we come back from intermission. Camera keeps going to John Tortorella barking at his players on the Vegas bench. And the puck is dropped, and we are set here for period number 3, the final 20 minutes, theoretically, here in Game 5. Puck's bouncing down into the Carolina end, frozen up by Carter Hart. And I was almost there. I was only 3 seconds behind, stopping my clock. I'm getting better at it. So Golden Knights have a 7-3 road record in these playoffs. They're definitely... I was going to say they're definitely strong on the road, but I always kind of shake my head a bit with those markers the deeper you go into the playoffs, because of course teams are going to have a winning record deeper into the playoffs. They've been winning more. Both of these teams had 12 wins apiece when they came into this series. As it stands, they've both got 14 wins, and they're both chasing number 16. 16 wins to win the most coveted prize in all of sports. I was there waffling about the grand tradition of the Stanley Cup, and I completely missed about 10 seconds of play. No worry, though, because all it was going down to the Carolina zone for Brandon Bussey to freeze the puck. So now we're set up, face off to the right of Brandon Bussey. Jack Eichel barking something at the referee. Who knows what. Carolina wins that face-off thanks once again to the captain, Jordan Stahl. Vegas now with possession in their own end. Puck bounces all the way down, and it's an icing call against Vegas. Back down, face-off near Carter Hart. Lots of face-offs. We're not even a minute in here in this final frame. Golden Knights have 9 comeback wins in these playoffs. Comes back to what we were saying about, it's never over. A lot of people saying Carolina's going to take this one. Maybe they do. Vegas probably going to come back. Lots of comeback wins for them in these playoffs, most of which happen in the third period. They wait. Of course, leave it to the team from Vegas to put on a show. They wait till the last 20 to start their grand return. Play back underway now. Once again, me not keeping up with that game clock. We're okay there. We're learning. This is all a big learning experience. Carolina now possession in their own end. Trying to break out, but it's stopped by Vegas. And there's a fight along the boards to get it out. Chance in front there for Vegas. Brandon Bussi very quick with his glove to freeze that and get a whistle. Wow. Ivan Barbashev with a nice pass to Brett Howden, who can't quite get it. It glances off his leg, and on goal, Brandon Bussi just getting a hold of it. And we're underway with the puck bouncing around in the Carolina zone, and it's out. Carter Hart came out to play the puck. He is out of his net with no stick. Carolina could not get a hold of the puck. Would have been very dangerous for Vegas if he did. There was a partial breakaway there when Carter Hart came out of his net to play the puck. And he couldn't. Hurricanes could not capitalize on that opportunity with a practically open net. Carter Hart now has his stick back as there's a board battle to his left. Knights now back the other way, trying to break out. Broken up at the blue line, but they regain possession. A pass in front could not be caught. Broken up a bit by Shane Gostisbehere. And they're going to play around in the neutral zone. Here's that back and forth happening again, folks. Much more exciting back and forth than other times in the game. As we got a Go Canes Go chant echoing through Lenovo Center as we already approach. Oh! Penalty coming up. Who's that going against? I think that is going against Jack Eichel of the Vegas Golden Knights. And I do believe Carolina is heading back on the man advantage. The man advantage they capitalized on earlier to score that third goal. Yeah, Jack Eichel behind the Carolina net with a slight hook, a trip they're going to call it, on Nick Ehlers, who goes down. I think if Ehlers stayed on his feet, probably wouldn't have been much of a call, but he's down. And so Carolina, another 2-minute man advantage, face off in the Vegas end. They are 1 for 2 with the man advantage tonight. See if they can make it a 4-1 game here. Would definitely take some wind out of the Vegas sails. Carolina, another face-off win. Imagine that. I feel like I don't even have to say it at this point. Chaos in front of the Vegas net. Taken care of, however. Vegas tries to make a break, but Carolina is able to keep it at the line. And they maintain their possession. Playing keep away at this point, looking for that perfect passing lane. Perfect shot lane as well. Though I think, just me personally, I'd be shooting it at the net on net at this point. Chaos in front has been a great way to get Carter Hart off his game. Great shot there from Sebastian Aho as he tees up a one-timer. No luck, though. This is glanced away by Hart. They keep playing keep away. Seconds ticking off the power play. And Carter Hart freezes it with 48 seconds left in the man advantage. Just curious, I'm going to look on Twitter, see if any of the insiders have an update on William Karlsson, who of course left the game partway through the second after taking an awkward hit. Trainer was looking at his elbow, and he did not come out for the start of the third period. Elliot Friedman from Sportsnet is saying he's more than been through examination. So the fact that he's not on the Vegas bench at the moment, I think, speaks volumes for as mundane as a hit that was. William Karlsson's definitely a little banged up. So I'd be shocked if we see him back in this contest. 4-on-2 now for Carolina. Good opportunity as there's only about 15 seconds to go in the man advantage. 10 seconds now as Taylor Hall tries to wiggle his way through the defenseman. Cannot get the shot off, and the puck comes out of the Vegas zone. Penalty expires. Curious how many shots the Hurricanes had in that power play, because I saw the ticker ticking up a fair amount. Even now, back at even strength, the Hurricanes are continuing to keep possession and apply pressure in that Vegas zone. And Vegas now with possession, trying to come back the other way. Heard a lot more of Jack Eichel's name tonight, both good and bad, after he took that last penalty. Heard more his name tonight than I did certainly during Game 4. I know he was... he helped out a couple times on some near goals, but other than that, didn't hear his name too much during play. But he's been very in-your-face tonight, generating chances where he can for the Golden Knights. Speaking of which, the Shots have taken a insane 12-6 here. 12-6 is not the Shots, sorry, that's just an expression. As the Hurricanes are now 21-14 in shots. Earlier in the game, Vegas had the clear lead in that department. Not so much now, as the score has shifted in favor of the Hurricanes. So has shots on goal and momentum. Face off now to the left of Carter Hart. Curious where our hit counter is at. This puck gets dropped, tie up, and Vegas now breaking out with it. Let's take a look at the hit counter. What did I say? I wanted Carolina to hit about 32, somewhere in there. We were seeing if Vegas could get as many as like 45. Well, it is 31-30 now in favor of the Golden Knights. Blocked shots 15-9 for Vegas. Scratch that, 10. 15-10 for Vegas. And the shots on goal have definitely swung in favor of the Hurricanes. Last period, it was 10 shots to 5 for Carolina. And this period so far, 6-2. About 8 minutes gone by now in the final 20 here in Game 5. This is a turning point game in the series. Team that wins tonight has a chance to end it all on Sunday in Game 6. But I maintain that this one's going to 7, man. I really do. I hope it goes to 7 for both an entertainment aspect and a content for me aspect. Sebastian Aho with another nice shot and opportunity there. But that one glanced off the crossbar and out of play. Sorry, that wasn't Sebastian Aho. That was Carrier. Listen, the numbers 28 and 20 look very similar from a distance, especially with the font that the Carolina Hurricanes have on the back of their jersey. TV timeout. How we feeling, chat? Doing all right? Just because of the nature of my setup here, it's very tough to keep an eye on chat while the game is going. I can only do one thing at a time sometimes. But that's part of the learning process, eh? That's part of figuring this out. Been trying to. I've got a couple of compliments on my jersey, on my football kit tonight. Thank you all very much. I made me think maybe at some point I should do a video just going over my jerseys. I've got a wide variety of hockey jerseys. I don't want to say wide variety, but I've got a fair few hockey jerseys, mostly Leafs, of course, because I am a shill after all. Got a couple of other jerseys in there, starting to grow a bit of a soccer collection. Doing my best to at least handful of different Blue Jays jerseys, mostly Toronto-centric in this household. Come on, you know how it is. But yeah, that might be fun at some point. Could also go through my hat collection, because got way too many of those, way too many that I've worn in various videos as well. This has kind of become the go-to, repping the Argos all the time, because they don't get enough love in the sports media landscape, especially from smaller creators like myself. Don't see enough people talking about the Argonauts. Hoping to get down to an Argos game at some point this summer. But it's really tough too. Their schedule's all over the place because their stadium's been taken over for the FIFA World Cup. FIFA's taken up residency right during the CFL season, so not a lot of quote-unquote home games for the Argos as play's back underway here in the hockey game that we're supposed to be talking about. Good chance for the Hurricanes a second ago. There's a race now for the puck between Stahl and Eichel. And Chatfield is down on the ice. Looks like he's clutching his cheek. That is not good, and he is in some discomfort. Not fun. I can see what happened here. If they'll show us. Oh, and he caught a stick up high, an errant stick from Mark Stone. Unlikely they're going to call this one a high stick. But if Chatfield is cut, they will have to call this. And they are. Vegas, number 61, has a minor. Or did they call double minor? Chatfield is bleeding as he heads back to the bench. Oh my. So if he is bleeding, that's going to end up a double minor. And the Hurricanes will get a 4-minute power play. Which, at this point in the game, the way the momentum swung last time the Hurricanes were on the power play, Or not last time, but the time before. So it is a 4-minute power play here. Double minor high sticking for the Vegas captain, Mark Stone. And that is a dangerous opportunity to present to a lethal man advantage team such as the Hurricanes, who are 1 for 3 tonight with 7 shots total through those 3 power play opportunities. And they're going to get a long one here as Jordan Staal with another face-off win. Imagine that. And the Hurricanes go back to playing keep away against the lonely 4 Knights. Good chances here for the Hurricanes. The Golden Knights get a clear. Down to Brandon Bussey, who stops that up. And they're going to try and set back up as they carry it through the neutral zone. Ooh, skating backwards there, trying to get a shot off on net. Couldn't quite connect, but they managed to keep it in the zone. Keep away resumes. I know it's not keep away. I know this is a great power play strategy to just pass the puck around, throw the defenseman off their game, find an opening, but it's much more fun to call it keep away. That's really what it is. Keep away is a fun game to play on the ice, man. One of my favorite pond hockey mini games, if you want to call it that, is playing keep away with the boys. Monkey in the middle almost. So the Hurricanes come back the other way, and the puck got knocked out, so they wait for Taylor Hall to come back onside before they start out again. And that one gets cleared by the Golden Knights. All the way down, Brandon Bussey out to freeze it. Back the other way comes Nikishin and the Hurricanes. Pretty much half of this man advantage gone already. So far, no shots on goal for them, as there's now 2 minutes remaining in the power play. And at this point, it's really just a regular power play, is it not? Golden Knight just got dumped on his butt. Roar goes up from the Carolina crowd. Excited about that physicality. It's funny how they like it when it's not against their players. Imagine that. Wonder why that is. Hurricanes now setting back up. Great opportunity. They score! Carolina Hurricanes power play goal. It's Andrei Svechnikov again. His second of the evening. 4-1 for the Hurricanes as Mark Stone, a very bitter and angry looking Mark Stone, comes out of the box. That is Svechnikov's 5th career multi-goal playoff game. Great stuff there. And Carter Hart has now allowed 4 goals in each of the 5 Stanley Cup Final games this year. That is a tough scene for his goals against average. What a nice setup there from Nick Ehlers to find Svechnikov, who pretty much has a wide open net to look at. He is left alone. Brady McNabb loses his assignment on that one. And Stormy the Pig is in the stands, absolutely loving this one. I'm just curious, and maybe someone can enlighten me. I'll do my research later. Why is the Hurricanes mascot a pig? Is that like a Raleigh thing, a North Carolina thing? Pigs? You eat your mascot, you realize. I eat your mascot. Love a bit of pork. Love some bacon. It's unfortunate, really. We've passed the halfway point here in the game. About 8 minutes to go now in the final frame. And if the Golden Knights are going to mount one of their patented third period comebacks, they'd better do it soon, as they hold possession now in the Carolina zone, looking to set something up. Dangerous shot on goal. Bussey lost track of it but it never makes its way to the net. Vegas now still with pressure. Still with possession, rather. Shot lofted on goal. Looked like it bounced off of Bussey, and it ended up behind the net. That was an interesting one there. And Brandon Bussey, after some intense shots on goal, manages to cover up and send us to a TV timeout. About 7.5 to go here in Game 5. 4-1 for the Canes in Raleigh. How we doing, chat? We liking it? Kelly Green says, love to see the jersey collection. Rumor has it you have an autographed jersey. This is true. I have a Doug Gilmour autographed jersey, no less, that I won in a raffle. It's also got the 75th anniversary patch for the National Hockey League. So 2 very cool things. Unfortunately, if I were to frame it, wouldn't be able to display the front and the back. But what are you going to do? That's why I'm not going to frame it. I'm going to keep it, wear it, because jerseys are meant to be worn. Brian Leaf says, there's my number 4 goal. We got a woo from Olivia. Carolina faithful are buzzing here in the chat. Brian Leaf says, Canes mascot hog named Stormy to honor Carolina's agricultural pork industry. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Like, very good means something to the people of Carolina. But you named your mascot after the thing you eat the most of. I don't know about that. How does Stormy feel about that, man? As a former mascot myself, I wouldn't feel very good about my own fans wanting to eat me. And yes, you all heard me right there. I am a former mascot, and I plan on making a video about that one day. I spent some time as the mascot for the Peterborough Petes, Roger the dog. I won't share too much there. As like I said, I want to make a video about it. They showed again on the broadcast the Norwegian team, Erling Haaland, of course, the star of the Norwegian football team in the States for the World Cup. I have mixed feelings on Haaland. He's a great player, but he also plays for Manchester City, and I don't like Manchester City. I'm a Liverpool guy. We'll get to my my Liverpool kits when we do the jersey video. Don't you worry. There's only one in the closet right now, but more on the way. They just released new kits for this upcoming season. I'm salivating and my wallet is sweating. We'll put it that way. Playing catch up here with my shot counter. Shots are 23-17 for Carolina. As I said, Vegas needs to pick up the pace here if they want to make something happen. Brett Howden with quite the shot on Brandon Bussey. Enough behind it that you could hear the thud as the puck glanced off of Bussey's pad and down the ice as Vegas picks it back up. Jack Eichel over center, and they're back in. Carolina picking it up now, though, trying to just lift that out. And as the clock ticks down on this third period, as we've almost reached the quarter mark of the period, about 6:20 to go, you have to think the Hurricanes just want to keep it out of the zone, not worry too much about padding the stats. And a goal there from the Golden Knights. Pavel Dorofeyev gets them back within 2. A scramble in front of Brandon Bussey. And it is 4-2. A good one there from Pavel Dorofeyev. Brandon Bussey down on the ice. And good wherewithal to get it up and around the pad there of the sprawling Bussey. We might have ourselves a game, folks. Here come the Golden Knights. Only two. 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey. That is Dorofeyev's fourth career multi-point playoff game. Just about 6 minutes to go, as there's a whistle in the Vegas end. Yeah, mad scramble in front there. The puck gets lofted on goal. Dorofeyev is in front with Chatfield covering him. But that one you have to chalk up to the rebound control, I suppose, of Brandon Bussey, as this face-off is going to happen right at center ice with 6:03 on the clock. Shots now 23-20 in favor of the Hurricanes. So the Golden Knights are certainly catching up, and you have to think some wind goes back in their sails after that goal. Only down by 2 now instead of 3. And here they come again. Puck is loose again, a scramble in front. Bussey could not get his hands on it. Rasmus Andersson plugging away at it. Everything's settled down a little bit, but the Golden Knights keep it at the line. Canes now manage to loft it out and down the ice. Almost right in the line of Carter Hart, who just fires that out of his zone. A bit of back and forth now happening in the neutral zone as we reach the 5-minute mark here in the third. 5 minutes to go. 4-2 Carolina. If Carolina can hold on to this lead and win this one on home ice, then they have an opportunity to secure the Stanley Cup in Vegas on Sunday. That one goes up, deflecting off of Nikolai Ehlers, out of play. And we're going to get ourselves another TV timeout with 4:42 left to play. What do you think of that, chat? Golden Knights maybe starting a bit of a comeback here. We shall see. There's a Hyundai commercial playing. Of course there is. It's always like 3 kinds of commercials you see during a hockey game. Car commercial, beer commercial, gambling commercial. Is that all they think hockey fans care about? Like, we just had a car commercial. What's up next now? Actually, it's a shawarma commercial. I stand corrected. It's a shawarma commercial starring Alistair Johnston from the Canada men's national team. Also plays for Celtic FC, team that I cheer for in the Scottish Premier League. It's very fascinating every 4 years seeing the whole world just become so aggressively soccer-pilled. It's good, the World Cup, giving everybody something to talk about, no matter where you are on the planet. I will give football, I will give football this. It is a very easy game to play if you wanted to. Not always easy to get into. There's a lot of leagues out there, a lot of levels to those leagues. Can be tough to keep track of sometimes, but it's always easy to play. All you need is a ball. Really, don't even need a net. So long as you got shoes or something to make a net with, you got a net. Hockey is not the same, man. You need, at the very least, stick and a ball or a puck. You can always use something else as a stick. Use a broom. There's mini sticks. But to actually play the game itself, it can be tough for some. It can be expensive. I was lucky. I always had hand-me-down equipment from my brother and my cousins. I think the only pieces of equipment I have right now that I bought for myself are my helmet, my stick, and my gloves. Game back on now as we reach the 4-minute mark. 4 minutes to go. Vegas is just pouring on the pressure. They almost get one there. A sprawling Bussy again. Could not get control of that, but it was whacked away by a Carolina defender. And here come the Canes, trying everything they can to just bleed this clock out. Maybe get some insurance and make it 5-2. Smart from the Hurricanes to carry it into the zone instead of constantly dumping it. Not only do they not risk icing, but they shave about 10 seconds off the clock just trying to get into the Vegas zone regardless of doing anything. Smart play here in the dying stages of Game 5. As the puck bounces up, hits the netting at the top of the glass. And we get set for another face-off. About 3 minutes to go here in Game 5. So as I said earlier, don't know if anyone missed, but we're going to run this back. Sunday night, Game 6. We can come back here, hang out, enjoy the game, what could be the final game of the 2026 NHL season. And should there be a Game 7 later next week, we'll be back for that as well, don't you worry. This has been fun. I'm enjoying doing these live streams. I hope you're enjoying watching them. And don't you all worry, I will find excuses to make some more live streams happen throughout the summer and the off season. I already got a few ideas in the think tank. As Carter Hart makes his way to the Vegas bench. Extra attacker out there. Where's my... There it is. Empty net marker down on the score bug. And this could be how we end up with a 5-2 game. I know a handful of people in chat said 5-2 for Carolina in their predictions. This could be it. As we approach the 2-minute mark here. Golden Knights are pointing upwards as the puck goes out of play, wanting a delay of game call. And they are going to get it. Another puck over the glass delay of game call, the third one tonight. Going once again to Nick Ehlers. And now with 2:13 on the clock, the Golden Knights are going to the power play as they try to prevent themselves from going on the brink of losing this series. That is not a penalty you want to see. You can see the disappointment on Nikolai Ehlers' face as well. That's got to be a tough one, man. I cannot imagine how that feels as Vegas takes themselves a timeout. So you have to think, will they continue to pull Carter Hart? He hasn't made any motion back towards the bench. So I would think he's going to stay out. They're going to keep the empty net and go 6-on-4 here, the two-man advantage. With 2:13 on the clock. They are. Carter Hart stays on the bench, and it is 6-on-4 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights as they try to get 2 goals in about 2 minutes. And a power play to help them. Vegas wins that face-off. A very rare face-off loss for Jordan Staal here. And already Vegas going after as the puck bounces down the ice. No icing call against the Carolina Hurricanes after an awkward bounce in the neutral zone. Jack Eichel just comes flying back in. Mitch Marner now picking it up. And he's got it at the point looking for a shooting lane. Great chance for Mark Stone down in the corner. But he hits the post. Golden Knights maintaining both possession and pressure here, as we've got about a minute and a half left in this game. Brandon Bussey holding that on the line. Ooh. That's a dangerous one. Tomas Hertl banging away in front. 10:20 to go. Sorry, 1:20 rather, with 1:07 on the power play. Vegas is finding their chances. There was a tip in front there from Tomas Hertl that bounced off the post, made it past Bussey, and he kept banging away at it, but Bussey shuts the door. Minute 20 to go here in Game 5 as we get set for another face-off. Vegas still with a 6-on-4 advantage. Face-off to the right of Brandon Bussey. Tie up in the face-off dot, and the Golden Knights have possession as it's sent to the point. Pavel Dorofeyev loading up yet again. And a clear by the Hurricanes. A high clear by the Hurricanes. Almost sending it over the glass again as we are here in the final minute of regulation time. Still a 6-on-4 advantage for the Golden Knights as they hold not just a power play for the next 30 seconds, but an empty net. That puck is raced after in the Vegas zone. Vegas recovers. Almost a 5-2 game there. Seconds ticking down, half a minute on the clock, 15 seconds on the power play. And the Carolina faithful are on their feet in the Lenovo Center as that gets cleared by the Hurricanes down the ice. No icing call. Penalty over. 10 seconds on the clock. One last opportunity as it is launched into the zone by Vegas. And they're not going to be able to make a comeback this time. 4-2 Carolina, your final score. And the Carolina Hurricanes, on the shoulders of goaltender Brandon Bussey, are one win away from the Stanley Cup. There you go, Carolina fans in the chat. Know you're loving to see that one. Not as wild, not as unpredictable a game as we've had sometimes in this series. This is the first game, the first of 5 games to not feature a multi-goal comeback. But once again, you cannot say you had a boring time watching the Stanley Cup Final. Nail-biting to the last. A 6-on-4 advantage there in the final 2 minutes. K'Andre Miller in some pain leaving the ice after he blocked a shot with his knee in the dying seconds there, trying to make something happen. Certainly not the only guy dinged up after this war that both teams have gone through. Of course, William Karlsson, who left the game in the second, did not return. We'll look for an update on him at some point. Hopefully he returns for Sunday. Vegas, their offensive output is simply not the same without him. You have to wonder, do they make the comeback with a guy like William Karlsson on the ice? But and if some butts were candy and nuts, isn't that how the expression goes? Kelly Green says, great live stream. Can't wait for Saturday's game. Well, thank you for the compliment, but that's going to be Sunday's game. We're coming back here Sunday night. Want to make sure everyone knows. Sunday night, there's a 2-day break now. For whatever reason, the NHL could not secure their usual Saturday night spot. And we're going to be back here on Sunday for Game 6, another 8 o'clock start time 8 o'clock. They're really going to get going about 20 after. But we're going to be starting the stream 8 o'clock Sunday. That's Eastern time, of course. 8 o'clock Eastern, wherever else you may be in the world. Hope you tune in. Hope you enjoy. We're going to come back for Game 6. The Carolina Hurricanes with a 3-2 series lead and an opportunity to wrap this thing up in Game 6. If Carolina wins, it's all over but the crying for Vegas. And if Vegas wins, then we get the two best words in sports, Game 7. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Game 5. What a game. What a night. Brian Leaf says, called it at 4-2, go Canes. Not a lot of love here in chat for the Golden Knights. Not a lot of love from me for the Golden Knights. Our resident Golden Knights fan in chat, Albert, nothing to say after getting pelted with tomatoes earlier. Oh well, sure. Albert, along with all of you, will be back for Sunday night's stream of Game 6. Until then, however, I am going to sign off for the evening. I am very tired. I came straight from work, booted up my computer, and hopped on to bring all of you this. So I am hungry, I am tired, and I am going to go deal with both of those things. But I will see you all back here Sunday. Make sure you are subscribed here on the Hammer Hockey channel with post notifications on so you don't miss out when that stream gets scheduled and when it goes live, 8 o'clock Sunday evening. That's 8 o'clock Eastern Sunday evening for Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. Will the Carolina Hurricanes end it and walk away with Lord Stanley's mug? I guess we will just have to wait and see. But until then, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for sticking with me through this. It has been a very fun evening, and I can't wait to do it all again with you Sunday night, 8 o'clock Sunday. I'll see you back here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.